Hey guys, today I wanted to talk a little bit about my Baclofen pump. Just for starters, just to kind of explain what it is. Baclofen's a drug that people with spinal cord injuries often take, and what it's for is muscle spasms. A side effect of a spinal cord injury a lot of the times are involuntary muscle spasms, whether it be in your legs, in your torso, in your back, or all over. It's case by case basis. Some people don't get muscle spasms, or they get very, very minor muscle spasms. Some people, it's to the point that they can't, do transfers in and out of their wheelchair, and it's, affects their sleep, basically affects their whole lifestyle. And I was one of those cases where I had muscle spasms that were so terribly bad that oral Baclofen wouldn't do anything for them. I was up to about 140 milligrams of oral Baclofen, and I was taking another drug, I forget what it was called, for my spasticity. But I was getting to the point that it was kicking me back so hard I would wheel about 10 feet, and all of a sudden I'd have a spasm, and I would pretty much almost tip back in my chair. So every 10 feet, I'd have to pull my body forward. I'd wheel a little bit more, and then I'd be having another spasm. My legs were also really bad. I had clonus almost all the time, where my legs would just sit there and hop. I kind of ghetto rigged up. I put Velcro on the bottom of my on the soles of my shoes, and Velcro on the actual foot plate of my chair, because I couldn't keep my feet on the chair. I mean, everywhere I'd go, they would be falling off. It was really bad when I would hit bumps. But I mean, pretty much any time I would do a transfer or be on like a rough surface, I would get really bad muscle spasms. So what they did for me was put in a Baclofen pump. Basically, it's filled with intrathecal Baclofen, which is the liquid form. Okay, the actual Baclofen pump, it's underneath my skin, just to the left of my belly button. You can probably see it here. It's about the size of a hockey puck. It's about the thickness of a hockey puck too. But basically, this pump, they can fill with just putting a needle in, just like a regular syringe. They can suck out the rest of the Baclofen that's in it, and then they can also fill it just from this little port that's in the center. The Baclofen pump on the end has the actual catheter that injects the drug Baclofen. It goes around the side of my body, and it goes directly in at the T7 level, so it's going directly into my spinal cord itself. So one of the coolest things about the Baclofen pump is, first of all, you're not getting, for people that take oral Baclofen, you probably know, you get really tired if you take a lot of it. Luckily, since I have intrathecal Baclofen, it's just micrograms instead of milligrams. I only, for a whole entire 24-hour day right now, I'm getting 1,100 micrograms, which is quite a bit, but that's only 1.1 milligram compared to that 140 milligrams that I was taking, like I said before. The best part about the Baclofen pump is the fact that it works. It's not like taking pills where it kind of takes the edge off. I mean, they can program it to your daily lifestyle to completely get rid of all your spasticity. And that's kind of what mine is programmed to do. Some people get what's called a simple continuous dose. Basically, you get a set amount that just slowly releases into your spinal cord all throughout the day. But what they did for me is we found out that bolus doses work better. And basically all that means is at certain times of the day, I'll get just a large dose of Baclofen. It'll inject into my spine. I think I've got 11 programmed settings throughout the day right now, and we haven't even gotten to fully get that thing programmed. The way they program this pump, they've got kind of like a remote control, like you'd see. It's a little more than a remote control, but it's got a little piece that you just hold up to the Baclofen pump, and it programs it through your skin. So they sit there with a stylus and they type out exactly when they want your bolus doses to start, how much they want, how long it takes to release it into your spine, and it's fully programmed. I knew I had spasticity at night, so what my doctor did was he programmed it at like midnight, 2 o'clock, 2:30, to give me these large doses of Baclofen, and that way I could sleep. I wasn't having spasms throughout the night. I would get some of my worst spasms during transfers. I could be, sitting in the chair and really not have too much of a problem, but it was as soon as I tried to transfer, maybe go from a seated position to a laid down position, that my body would just go out of control. So that's another time that we programmed this pump to work just throughout the day. I know that, when I'm leaving work at 4:30, that I'm going to be having to transfer into my car. So I think at like 3:30, I get a bolus dose that just gets into my system. So, before I'm even leaving work, it's already kind of started to do its work. So by the time I get outside and transfer into the car, my legs are completely loose. I think, in that last video that I made of getting dressed, you can see how I just throw my legs around and they're completely loose. Before, just to get my legs into, my pants was like pulling teeth. I couldn't straighten my legs, or they would straighten and I couldn't get them to bend. So this Baclofen pump's just really affected my quality of life. I don't have to focus on taking pills all day long. I would forget to take a dose, and my body would just be out of control. Now it just automatically works. This pump, they say, lasts for 7 years. The battery life lasts for 7 years. So obviously I'll have to have another surgery in 6 years from now to get a new one put in. So with this pump, I think one of the hardest part, obviously just getting it in isn't going to just make it work. You have to find a doctor who knows, how to program the Baclofen pump and can actually work with you one-on-one. It really helps if a person's, aware and can, kind of pay attention to how their body reacts at different, times of the day. Some doctors I've heard just put everybody on a simple continuous dose, and when you go back in for a pump increase, they only increase it, little by little. They don't actually try to make it work specifically for you, kind of like I was talking about with the bolus doses. My doctor is Albert Claremont. He's with OSU Hospital, and this is the only thing he deals with. This is his primary practice, is this Baclofen pump. So he calls it a black art. It's something that, just from years and years of experience, exactly how to program it for in each person's, a little bit different. So if you're someone like me who has really bad muscle spasms, this pump is something I really suggest you check out. It's improved my quality of life. It's probably the best thing I've done since my injury. So, if there's anything I missed, if you have any questions, just shoot me a message and I'll get back to you. Thanks a lot.